guess my problem started at the age of 13 when I joined a gang, and shortly after that, just 3 months into it, I was introduced to drugs. The first drug I ever took was weed, ganja. And the first time I tried it, guess what? I loved it. Yeah. And because I loved that high, that was the beginning of my problems that lasted 30 years. And by the age of 15, I was already addicted to heroin. And when I first got myself arrested for drugs and other offenses, it was at the age of 22. That was the first time I went into prison. So from my 20s until my mid-40s, my whole adult life, I should say, I was in and out of prison. Before I went into prison, my daughter and I, she's my only child by the way, we were very close. All right, I love to play with her, and I tell you, Edwin, when she and I play, okay, it is magical. But when I went into prison, and it was not something that was planned, okay, I was just picked up from the streets and bam, thrown behind bars. So 1 minute I was in my daughter's life, and the very next minute I was gone. So I guess for my daughter it was something of a shock in her life also. And you know, every time she came to visit me, which was only once a month, and every visit only lasted 20 minutes. One thing she did was she dominated the whole visit. All she wanted to do was play and talk to me. So I remembered when Centers for Fathering organized that father-daughter bonding session in prison, that 2-hour father-daughter bonding session. To me, I tell you, Edwin, it was absolutely magical. All right. Few factors. One, it was a 2-hour thing. All right. I get to spend with my daughter without this glass panel in front. I could touch my daughter. I could carry her. I could feel her. All right. Probably during then, you know, I don't know, right? Probably during then, it felt like, you know, I was still in her life. I wasn't away at all, right? But when time's up, and the police prison officer said we had to leave, and reality hit my daughter, knowing that I've got to leave my father, you know, that is where it really hit her, and then she started crying. Yeah. So for me, it was the same thing. You know, for the 2 hours, all I wanted to do was hug my daughter, to kiss her, to you know, comfort her as best as I could, you know, and not to think that I'm in prison, you know. Yeah. But when the call came that, you know, this open visit has ended, when reality hit me, it really hit me like a ton of bricks. For most of my adult life, I've been taking drugs. I've been in prison 5 times, and believe me, Edwin, I've tried to quit drugs on my own countless of times. And one thing is this, I fail each and every time. All right. I guess there wasn't a real motivation for me to change. There wasn't any real, for lack of a better word, incentive. Okay. But that during my last imprisonment, things were very different. Was because for the first 4 times when I was in prison, I was not married. I don't have a family. Okay. So every time I went into prison, it was about bidding my time, waiting for the day that I'll be released, so that I can go back to my old ways and start partying again. But the last time I was in prison was very different, because not only was I married, I have a daughter. Okay. And I tell you one thing, being away from my daughter was the hardest thing for me to bear. I'm not ashamed to tell you that for the 4 years that I was in prison, I cried almost every night. Okay? because I missed her so much. Like what I've shared. Since my teens, having a family of my own was my biggest dream. Okay? And I told myself this: if I have a family of my own, I will not be like my father, an absentee father. But like I said, my biggest fear came true. Not only could I not nurture her, I went into prison, I could not be with her. What I did differently was this. Of course, not taking drugs. When I don't take drugs, I would spend more time at home. So now my life is basically this: work, go home, spend with my family. I've been out 1,310 days as of today. All right. Every day is work, go home, spend time with my family. That's all I do. Yeah. I think for me, I feel that I've been away from my daughter's life enough. When I was in prison, this was my wish. I want to be the best father that any child can have. I would say this, Edwin. You may think that bringing the bacon home, or earning good money and just financing your home is the correct thing to do. And after all, hey, I have my wife at home to look after my child. That is enough. All right, Edwin, that is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. A child growing up without a father beside him or her, that child will grow up lacking in something. So my question to the fathers is this: do you want that to be on you? Or do you want your child to grow up and be on a level footing with other children, her peers?